Well, hello, Allen Eagles, present, past, and future. Stacy Polk with the Foundation for Allen Schools, and I've got with me today Dr. Obado from the Allen Eagle Escadrille, and he is going to walk with me today, and we're going to walk, maybe even direct a mile in his shoes. All right, so tell me where we're walking today.
Right now we're in the orchestra hall. It's currently first period, so we've got bands in all of our spaces. So this is a nice quiet place to start. Maybe I'll lead you into some of the bands while they're rehearsing by the end of this. But
Sure.
This is the orchestra hall, and Mr. Devoto and Mr. Cross let us use it from time to time because we have so many kids, and they're just great colleagues here.
Yes, absolutely. The whole arts program is fantastic at Allen. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, awesome. Well, let's start walking.
All right. Well, let's take a walk.
Okay. So one of the first things I kind of wanted to know about you is how did you get to Allen? What's your career path been like to get here?
That's an interesting story because it wasn't always the case I was going to come back to public school. I'm actually originally from Florida.
Oh, wow.
Originally from Florida, and ended up...
A Floridian.
I am a Floridian, and I ended up getting my bachelor's degree in Central New York in Ithaca College.
Okay.
And we ended up... I ended up going straight through getting my master's degree at Florida State University, and then I taught in Florida for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in that time...
Where did you start?
I started at a place called South Fork High School.
Okay.
In Stuart, Florida. It's just north of Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. I was there for maybe 3 years.
Okay.
And then I got a fantastic job in Orlando at University High School. That was the biggest high school band in Florida. When I got there, it was maybe about 315 kids. So I've always been associated with big bands.
Okay. You know them well.
I do. And big bands are hard to feed.
Yes.
So I do have that experience. But anyway, I was there for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. I can't remember off the top of my head. I opened a brand new school down the road. It was a feeder school.
Okay.
It broke off from that school, rather. For a few years, ordered all the instruments, ordered pianos and music stands and everything.
Oh, wow.
And then I ended up getting my doctorate degree in wind conducting. I wanted to do college band.
Okay.
So I went to Michigan State, studied wind conducting with Dr. Kevin Senetal, who's actually a Texas band director. He's from Texas in the Houston area, and he taught in Austin, and he was at the University of Texas for a while.
Okay.
So after I got my degree, I ended up teaching for a year at Illinois State University. I did the marching band there and some of the concert band ensembles, taught conducting. And then I got a fantastic gig. It was just a one-year position at Illinois State. Then I got a really great gig at Baylor University. I was the third band director, the assistant director.
Oh, wow. Sick and Bears.
Yeah, sick and Bears. I ended up doing the marching band, their athletic bands, and a lot of basketball bands.
Oh, wow. Those are always really fun.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I still watch them. You know, they won the other night. They beat who did they beat? They beat Illinois. I think they were number 5, Illinois.
Okay.
Baylor, the Bears are number 2 right now.
Really?
It's
fantastic.
fantastic.
I need to catch up on my basketball, apparently.
But I wasn't planning on going anywhere. I was going to get the next college job, and then this job opened up.
Okay.
And someone, actually the director of bands at Curtis Middle School, she used to teach in Orlando. We're friends.
Okay.
She said, "Why don't you check out Allen High School?" I was like, "Well, I want to do the college thing. I know it's the big band in Texas." But then I taught 12 years of public school. I have to at least scratch the itch, and I did the interview, right? And went through the whole process. Dr. Johnston was the principal at the time, and you know, Dr. Johnston and Allen ISD made a tremendous impact on the interview process, and it was something I think I wanted. It's something that, you know, the district was interested, so I was like, I'm gonna go back to teaching high school band, and I'm so glad to be doing it. This community is incredible.
Yeah.
You don't see many places where everything revolves around community, the school, education of the young students. And,
Sure.
And not just that, we've got an amazing band program, amazing faculty, an amazing football team. It's almost, I like to call it video game band. We have all the all the codes. I don't want to say cheat codes. That's not right.
That's not it. But
it's not it. We don't cheat. But you put all the codes in, and all of a sudden you have an 800-piece band and an amazing stadium with an amazing community. This is the best place ever.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. So happy to be here, and I love it.
Well, good. Do you have a favorite memory in your time here thus far? I mean, you guys have done some amazing things, gone some amazing places, but anything that kind of always jumps to mind?
Yes. My first year here was 4 years ago, and Texas high school football. I'm from Florida, so Texas high school football was it felt like college. And we went to AT&T and we won a state championship. It wasn't just about the thing was it wasn't just about football. It was about It was. There we are.
Yeah, there we are. All right.
When we went to the championship game, it was a football game. We were playing in the band, but it was also about the spirit of community.
Sure.
I mean, it was beyond Allen ISD and Allen High School and alumni.
Yeah.
It was the town of Allen was there.
Yeah. Pretty special.
And just seeing all that and how amazing the people in our community leaders, our teachers,
rallying behind
our community. It was well beyond a football game.
Yeah.
And to me, that left a real big impact. And when everyone asks me, well, what I think about Allen, it's about community, it's about inclusiveness, and that's what's important.
Yeah. No, I think that's wonderful. And something, I mean, I'm an Allen grad of '96, and I still have those memories. It's always felt like a little big town. So. Well, awesome. That's wonderful. So tell me about this year. I mean, this year's a little different, obviously. What have some of the challenges been for the fine arts department and the band and you?
Well, when this all started, we didn't know what any of this was about.
Sure.
We didn't know how to mitigate this. And, I never used the word mitigation in everyday conversation, but it sort of turned into a thing.
Yep.
Right? And we had to understand what this whole thing was about. And when it came down to it, I know there's a lot of beliefs, there's a lot of levels of caution, and I think being such a visible program, we needed to be a little more on the cautious side.
Sure.
And making sure that we respect all levels of caution. So when it came down to it, this, COVID-19, it's an airborne. Yeah, we can go that way.
Yeah.
It's in the air, so
Sure.
we needed to figure out ways where students were going to be breathing on each other, and
Right.
and what made it really,
and it's a wind ensemble.
it's a wind ensemble.
So
we blow
that's a
air and
challenge.
instruments. What happens with this?
Right.
So there have been some unprecedented studies in the college ranks with the University of Colorado, University of Cincinnati, and Colorado State University, where there were task forces put together on studying how the aerosols work and what mitigation processes are. And because of that, I don't have them with me, but we have masks that the students put on, and there's a Velcro opening so they can put the mouthpiece in their mouth so they can play behind a mask. So that mitigates a lot of the aerosols that are out there.
Sure.
Plus, we also put bell covers on all the instruments. So when we're blowing air on instruments, there's bell covers, and these bell covers are 2-ply nylon, and on the inside, there's this thing called a MERV 13 fabric. You find it in HEPA filters.
Okay.
So you can't get any better than that kind of mitigation. We
Sure.
we do the social distancing. We try to limit as much time during marching season when they're next to each other, but it's outside, and we have all these mitigating factors, and we're so happy we had the opportunity to do this for the students. It wasn't what we
Sure.
expected. It was very different, but we were able to do this.
Yeah.
And we feel privileged that we were able to have a marching band
to
season.
still have the season.
For sure.
Yeah. So tell me, obviously you had to go into safety mode and thinking through all the changes that needed to happen to keep the program running. What has it been like for you day to day? I mean, I know when we walked in, you were sanitizing chairs. I mean, my goodness.
Well, inside is different than
Sure.
outside, because outside with all the masks and the bell covers, that's an extremely safe environment. When you're inside, air is limited. So we have, and 6 feet is a thing. It works.
Sure.
So we put all the kids in 7.5 feet spacing left and right, and about 9 feet spacing front and back.
Okay.
All right, so that is just mitigating force right there, even without a mask. Plus, the air circulation here in our building and all the facilities here in Allen ISD, the change rate. I didn't know anything about change rate before
this year.
But the change rate is at a very high level. And what we do is if we have any classes longer than an hour,
okay,
we actually go to the other band hall. So to let the air circulate and clean out.
Okay.
So
y'all are doing everything possible to keep the kids safe, to keep the program going, answering parents' questions and concerns, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful, and I'm glad that so many of these seniors and really all the kids are having the opportunity to still do something they love.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So tell me how you're working to still stay in touch with your at-home learners. I mean, that's got to also be a challenge in and of itself, too.
It is, and there's no perfect way to do it. Right now, when we have synchronous classes, when we have our virtual learners online, we have a camera in front of the director that's in charge of their ensemble, and we have a secondary director that's online with the kids if they have any questions, or we can do announcements that way.
Okay.
It works.
Yeah.
But we've discovered that it's not banned, and even though they're playing on mute with the band that they were assigned, it's just completely different. So we're just trying to create more opportunities to be interactive with the students next semester. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be keeping everybody in the same bands that they've made the same levels, the tiers they're in, and we're going to dedicate one director to teach those students. We're going to focus on etudes and solos and performing for each other.
That's a great way to do it.
Yeah, and then and have them play with the band instead of every time. Maybe every Friday that we have an online class to play with the band they're in, so they still have that level of identity with the band.
Absolutely, and the connections with the people that they know. And
Sure.
No, that's wonderful. So tell me a little bit about what keeps you motivated every day. I mean, you have a ton of kids to keep up with, a ton of families that want your time and attention. So tell me how you keep yourself motivated.
Well, I'm a people person. We're able to develop a culture here where we like working with each other. I have 7 other band directors between Lowry Freshman Center and Allen High School, and we're all friends. We enjoy our time together, and you have to when you have to spend so many hours with each other. And it's just a pleasure coming in because you get to work with some amazing musicians, some fun people.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Folk, who sort of keeps us all in line.
Yes.
She, it's just a great team. We enjoy coming to work every day. That's important. It has to be important.
Absolutely.
And then after that, it's the students. We have such great kids.
Yeah, we
to
really
see
do.
every day. Some days are better than others, but in general, we have got great kids, and it's just a pleasure coming into work every day.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And I would say for Miss Folk, we all need those people in our life, don't we? People that keep us organized.
Yes, she is a lifesaver. She keeps us going.
Absolutely. Well, I want to transition and talk a little bit about the Booster Club.
Sure.
They have set up scholarships for kids who have participated in band, and they run that scholarship through the Foundation for Allen Schools. I know you've been a big supporter of that, and certainly we always have to look to you each year to say, how were those students? And
for sure.
So tell us a little bit about why you believe, working with the Foundation is of value.
Well, the foundation is critical. They're sort of our connection to the community.
Sure.
And there's resources beyond financial resources that we definitely we
partner together
with. And scholarships in particular, we didn't have when I first got here. We didn't have a lot of scholarships.
That's right.
And we developed a few scholarships, and I know one is a memorial, the Erin Valenta Scholarship.
Yes.
She was an alumni, went to SFA, and all the families, all the kids were in the program here, and establishing that scholarship was very meaningful. Unfortunately, that happened when I first got here, so I didn't have necessarily the connection. But when I saw, the Valentas and the community and what we do here with our kiddos, it was just a special moment, and I'm glad that we were able to work this scholarship out. But but yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad that since you've gotten here, we've seen some of those scholarships grow, and just a commitment to education beyond even Allen. You know, I love that the Booster Club and the band want to see kids move forward in whatever it is their
For sure.
endeavors are. So, well, obviously this year, the Eagle Run is one of our biggest fundraisers, and we have to do it virtually this year. So, what do you think about the whole, you can walk wherever you want? You can walk on a treadmill at home, you can walk around the school. Do you have any ideas on how you might participate or the band might participate?
Well, you know, when I first got here, there's a couple of college programs that there would be, the director would do one of these runs with a sousaphone on.
Okay.
And we tried doing that, and I chickened out at the last second. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. And you know, that might be something that we can spur on. You know, even if we just go around the track with. Get the whole tuba section out, and we're gonna do a tuba run.
That'd be fun. Oh, that
the
would
tuba
be fun.
Eagle run. You heard it here. I guess we're gonna have to. I guess it's official.
It's happening.
Maybe I can try to get those guys, and we can just do tuba run / walk for
I'm
older
a
people
walker.
like me with the sousaphone. With the sousaphone on your
I
back,
love
though.
it. I mean, boy, talk about the calories that we're gonna burn.
Yeah, you know, we could probably get some cameras here. I mean, you don't normally see a pack of tuba players running.
You do not. I mean, I am used to seeing the cross country kids, but I am not used to seeing tubas running. So.
So, but yeah, interestingly enough, yeah, you know, my wife likes to do the virtual runs.
Okay.
And it's super cool because she gets her family involved.
Yeah.
And
You can walk with your neighbors. Or?
right, and I think she has her phone on, and they just walk and
Yep.
talk and have a good time. Maybe run, mostly walk and talk.
Yep. And we need that these days.
Absolutely.
We still need our connections in safe ways. So.
Get out of the house, do something to get some fresh air, and join some people. It's perfectly fine and healthy and safe outside.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely.
Well, so let me, before we sign off and before we go, I again want to thank you for your time
Sure.
today and taking a walk with me around the PAC and Band Hall. Tell me just a little bit about, I don't know, something that people would be surprised to learn about you. That would be something fun to learn.
About me, like here at Allen?
Sure. I mean, or just in general.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know how many people realize the amount of work that the escadrille gets put in. We have 7 a.m. rehearsals, but when you have over 800 students that have to be at one place at 7 o'clock.
Whew. Sounds like a logistical challenge.
Yeah, I'm here 5:45 usually every morning. Open up the gates, and then our parents come out and they do traffic control and all that. And then we have our directors, when they get here, they start guiding people in.
So it takes a village just to get them in the doors.
I just don't know if people realize that we start that early.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I have to turn left on a Greenville, and that light takes too long at 5:30 in the morning. So I might be that person that goes past in U-turns. I don't know if you're allowed to do that, but
we don't know about that.
Okay.
No.
It's 5:30 in the morning. No one's gonna know,
Nobody's
right?
gonna see.
It's like I'm standing at this light at Greenville, and there's nobody around because it's 5:30, 5:45
in the morning,
morning.
guys. I'm not even up by then.
Marching band rehearsal. So I don't know if anybody knows that, but that's what it takes every morning, Monday through Friday, here that early, and the kids are here. We didn't do that this year because of COVID.
Sure.
But talking to the kids, I said, would you rather do evenings or would you rather do mornings? Like, let's do mornings. We get everything done out of the way, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome, and I had no idea.
Yep.
But boy, I've definitely heard that the Chick-fil-A, like the meal distribution of the escadrille, is like a feat in and of itself. So I can imagine just getting them there, getting them parked, getting them out. Moving 800 kids.
it's a small city. We transport
Absolutely.
on a normal year, right?
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you again for your time today. We're going to sign off here from Allen High School. This is Dr. Obado, and I'm Stacy Polk with the Foundation. Y'all have a good day.